Hi. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. It's been a while since I recorded something. This is not normally something that I would record, and I'm recording it because I want to. The first episode of Gossip Girl 2.0 just came out, and I have a lot to say. And I'm going to say it, and if you want to hear what I got to say, please continue to watch. I wanted to create this video because Gossip Girl just came out, and I saw the first episode, and I'm not sure how I feel. I couldn't help but do a comparison between both series, mainly because I kind of grew up watching it. The new series of Gossip Girl, or Gossip Girl 2021, has just come out, and it's a continuation of the original Gossip Girl that aired from 2007 to 2012. From the first episode, I have a lot of opinions. I cannot help but compare naturally because things have changed, things are different, and I can't help but unpack this. Let's talk about this. First, I'm going to be referring to the first Gossip Girl as Gossip Girl 1.0 and this Gossip Girl as 2.0. And I will tell you by the end of the video why. It will make a lot of sense by then. So, Gossip Girl 1.0. Gossip Girl came out in 2007 and it ran for 6 seasons before it had its series finale in 2012. Gossip Girl 2.0, it looks like it'll be either 8 or 10 episodes with a runtime of 59 minutes on HBO Max, and then it will eventually air on CW and be available for streaming the next day on the CW app. Watching the first episode, all I can say, or all I can question is, how are they going to edit this to make it from a MA rating to a 14 rating? That's all I can think about because there's a lot. Anyway, with that being said, the showrunner is Joshua Fran. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing his last name incorrectly, but he was the executive producer of the original Gossip Girl, and now he's the showrunner, and he supposedly has written at least 51% of the script for the first episode of Gossip Girl 2.0. All I can say is that from the script, I'm not exactly sure who was in that writing room, but it's very different. I know I shouldn't be comparing something that happened over 9 years ago, but I just think that Gossip Girl 1.0 has always been on a different level for a lot of people. And just to hear the script being acted out, I feel like there could have been a lot of changes, or we wanted to keep the integrity of Gossip Girl 1.0. Let's look at our players, and I want to break it down into our haves and have-nots. With that being said, in making the comparison between Gossip Girl 1.0 and 2.0, we have a clear understanding that this is a story between the have and the have-nots. In Gossip Girl 2.0, the have-nots are the teachers and the haves are the students, while we have Zoya as our in-between. Looking at our have-nots, I'm just going to talk about 3 professors or 3 teachers, and that's Kate, Wendy, and Jordan. They are, how should I say this? They teach at a private school where money is everything as well as power. And as a teacher, there's a good chance you have neither. And that gets them a little upset. And while their hearts are in a good place because they're teachers and they want to, quote unquote, graduate Barack Obamas and not Brett Kavanaugh's, sometimes that's not how it always works out. Now, let's look at our in-between, and that's Zoya. Zoya is the half-sister of Julian, and she was originally from New York, but in the Buffalo area. She has come to Constance to now be with her sister in a completely different world, and she has no idea what she has gotten herself into. Looking at the halves, we have Julian, Otto, Max, Audrey, Aki, Luna, and Monet. I'm pretty sure I got everyone. And I kind of want to break down our in-between and our halves I kind of want to give my first impression of our in-between Zoya and our halves, because I think that going forward we can kind of see how everyone affects each other. So with Zoya being the half-sister of Julian, is older, and at one point in time, her mother left her husband, Julian's father, for Zoya's father. And at the end of the day, we come to see that the mother has passed away, and the only connection that they have together is the mother, obviously. With Julian's character, we would want to compare her with Blair Waldorf, and I can definitely say that they are very two different people, mainly because of the friends that they have around them. With Blair, she had Serena, and it was kind of like a love-hate relationship, to the point that it was very chaotic. Yeah, chaotic. Chaotic is the right word. Chaos is the right word for the periodic relationship between her and Serena. But the thing about Blair is that she was Queen Bee, and they gave her that title for a reason. Her word was law, and she barely let anyone influence any of her decisions. I can't say the same about Julian. She cares a lot about what other people think, and I think it's because of the world that they're currently living in with social media. Social media has changed tremendously back from 2012. Like, Instagram was just picking up at this point, and blogs were still very relevant and popular. And blogs had a certain net in terms of the people who read it, but social media now is global. It is global. And I can tell that Julian, while she is very influential, she is also very easily influenced, mainly by Luna and Monet. And I would say it's a little heavier on Monet. With Monet and Luna, we're going to put them two together because I have no idea what it's going to look like in the future for them. But we can say that Luna and Monet are the brand managers of Julian. And if you look at a brand manager or a publicist, they have a lot of persuasion and influence over the brand that they are taking care of. And you can definitely see that in the first episode of Gossip Girl. They have campaigns that they have to run. They have stories that they need to post. They have all these things that they need to do. And I just find it funny that Julian thinks that she has power, but she doesn't, because she's very easily influenced by her friend group. Or mainly because she cares a lot about what people think of her. And she has to keep up appearances. Now looking at Obi. Obi is Julian's boyfriend. And he is probably one of the wealthiest people in their friend group. And he has rich guilt. And if you've never heard the term, and I'm not even sure it's a term, I just made it up, okay? A person who has rich guilt is someone who is very wealthy and also very guilty about it. And mainly people who have this guilt because one way or another, the money that they have, it was not earned. It's mainly for people who were born into it. So they have no idea the hard work it takes to get such large sums of money. But he does have a kind heart, and he is very altruistic, which is great. But I definitely want to see how he is going to progress in the series. Now we have Audrey and Aki. I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name incorrectly too. But they're in a relationship, and you can see that there are issues with each other on an intimate level. It will be fun to watch, because while these are high school students, and they act like grown people, they are going to add spice into their lives. With probably one of my favorite people on the cast, and that's Max. And why do we like Max? Because Max, he knows the deal, and he's keeping it to himself. Max is observing, and I want to say he will be the voice of reasoning. But the thing about it is that he knows the rules of the game, and he is either going to help or watch people fall. You can also see that Max cares about his friends very deeply. He knows that there is a line in regards to the haves and the have-nots, and you can see that in the first episode in terms of Julian trying to bring Zoya into the friend group, and they're not having it. The people are not having it. The friends are not having it, and he agrees with them, mainly because they grew up with each other, and you're now thinking to yourself, who is this outsider and what do they want? What is their true agenda? Max doesn't care. He's enjoying his life, and he is up for just about anything. So I love him. Now what I'm going to talk about will be spoilers. I'm pretty sure this whole entire video is spoilers to begin with, so if you haven't watched it, and you probably will, and if you see it broadcast, I'm pretty sure a lot of things will be cut or changed, but if you do want to see it, I would suggest you watching it on HBO Max, and you will see everything. Wanted to talk about Julian's character once again, mainly because she is straddling a line when it comes to the people that she loves and the people that love her. The people that she loves is her sister. And Zoya, after having a conversation with Obi, they both can see that she is a much different person to how she's perceived in the world. She's much kinder and much more considerate, while in the public, she comes off as very nice and very charming, but she will not let anyone take her shine, which is great. But by the end of the episode, because she cared more about the people who loved her, she lost 2 people that she cared about. And that is how the world, sometimes that's how the world works. When you care so much about the people who will drop you when you no longer have that notoriety or influence or power. So that is something I definitely want to see going forward in the show. How she's going to try to get those people back, because that's just going to be much harder, and we definitely can see that Otto and Zoya making a connection, which ultimately was Julian's fault. Especially from the influence of Luna and Monet. When it comes to Audrey and Aki, I would love to see how that is going to go with the addition of Max, because we definitely see that Audrey has an attraction to Max, and she's trying to be a great girlfriend and not think about Max while her and Aki are being intimate. But you know what I love? Aki said, "It's okay. It's okay. Okay." I can't wait to see how that goes. I cannot wait. But at the end of the day, I said again, I am a big fan of Max. And I just can't wait. I feel like it's not really structured, but I think you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from when it comes to Gossip Girl 2.0. But another thing I wanted to mention was the teachers. And this is a major spoiler, which is also very upsetting. The great thing about Gossip Girl 1.0 is that we did not find out who Gossip Girl was until the very last season. In Gossip Girl 2.0, we find out who Gossip Girl in the first 20 minutes. And that blows my mind. The only... and I can't help but be so upset, because that just leaves so much of the mystery out. And it's just like, well... And now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm recording this, maybe because we kind of have an idea of how Gossip Girl is structured. No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think that we should still have that mystery and still try to figure out who Gossip Girl is and what is her intentions. But obviously, we know who it is or who they are, and I'm not a big fan at all. I'm not a big fan at all. What's really nice is that they do mention all of the characters, but looking back at Gossip Girl 1.0, we definitely can see that all of the characters, Nate, Chuck, Serena, Blair, they all had their own lives, while they were also really good friends as a unit. I don't think we really see that, or we can really see that in Gossip Girl 2.0. The friend group in Gossip Girl 2.0 wanted to know everything about everyone and wanted to have a say on everyone's decision, which I find to be very restricting. Because, for a good example, Julian, she wants to wear a brooch, and she sent it to Monet, and she says, "You have already worn that, so now it's just like melted down." Well, I didn't know I needed your permission to do what I wanted with my things. Would never see Blair do that. And also, when it came to us finding out, or us seeing the friend group find out about Zoya being the half-sister and how they've been in communication with each other, how it affected them not knowing at the same time when she started contacting her. With that being said, I feel like this video has taken a long turn, and I'm gonna end it now. It's coming to a close. I cannot wait to see how this story will progress. I want to see how they're gonna try to live up to Gossip Girl 1.0. I think it will be very difficult just from seeing the first episode. 3 things, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it throughout the entire video, but 3 things I definitely am not a big fan of for Gossip Girl 2.0 is Julian. She's no Blair. That's all I can say. She is no Blair. Blair had minions, and I know that's not a concept that we want to have now in this day and age, but Blair was able to be very strategic in how she wanted to move in her life, and she was not going to let other people directly influence her. That's all I can say. Julian, on the other hand, is a different case. And she is allowing Monet and Luna to have control of it. And you can see that in the first episode. The second thing that I'm not a big fan of is the writing. Mainly because the only thing that I did like is the narration for Gossip Girl. I don't know. I have no idea who the writers are, who developed the script, but they need to figure it out if they decide to continue on in the future, because I'm just not a big fan. And the third thing that I hate is the fact that we know who Gossip Girl is, or who they are, because it just leaves out the whole mystery of trying to figure out who she is. You know, to find out that Dan was Gossip Girl blew a lot of people's mind, but made a lot of sense. Just going back to the haves and the have-nots. The major players of Gossip Girl 1.0 there was a major distinct line between the haves and the have-nots, and the teachers were not involved. And we definitely have, in the have-not side, we definitely saw Dan and Jenny want to be part of that world, yet Dan and Jenny took 2 different avenues to get there. And then we had our haves. We had Nate, we had Chuck, we had Blair, we had Serena, and they were great. They understood the assignment and they did it well. It was just amazing. With that being said, and this is the very last part, the reason why, and a lot of people are saying it, why Gossip Girl 1.0 and 2.0, which they do kind of mention and show in the first season, or the first episode, mind you, is that while this is an upgrade, Gossip Girl 2.0, that does not necessarily mean it's better than the first version. And I'm going to give the example of Windows XP and Windows Vista. While it was an upgrade, it wasn't the best for everyone. And maybe I'm jumping the gun with this opinion, but who knows? Let's see how this show progresses. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna make any more videos regarding the other episodes. I just wanted to give a brief overview and just kind of talk it out, because this was something Gossip Girl has played a big role in its audience. That's all I gotta say. Gossip Girl has played a major role in its audience, and those who have been there for the original want to make sure that its integrity stays intact. That's all I can say. And if I'm wrong, you can write that down in the comments. So I want to say thank you for watching. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Please comment on your predictions, your opinions. If you don't agree, if you agree with what I'm saying. And if you want to subscribe, go right ahead. I welcome it. So thank you.